Myth 10. The moon is truly reflective. Fact: the moon reflects only 12% of the light from the sun. For comparison, Earth reflects 39%. The most reflective planetary body in our solar system is Saturn's moon Enceladus, which reflects 99% of the sunlight falling on it back into space. Because, like many moons of the outer solar system, it consists mostly of ice. So if the moon were as reflective as Enceladus, in other words, if there was Enceladus instead of the moon, the full moon would be like another sun appearing in the sky at night. Myth 9. Light is not affected by gravity. Fact: gravity is an attractive force between two objects that have mass and light, and is transmitted by photons that have no mass, so light cannot be affected by gravity. So if this is true, how can black holes prevent light from escaping? The laws of gravity as we know them were the work of Isaac Newton, who said that gravity is an attractive force that works when both objects have mass. However, Albert Einstein revised this theory, arguing that this was a consequence of the shape of the fabric of the universe. Imagine placing a heavy ball on a rubber sheet. The rubber stretches, creating a dent. If you try to roll a smaller ball from one side of the sheet to the other instead of going straight, it will need to bend. This is what stars and planets do to space-time dimensions. These curves not only affect massive objects, but light moves so fast that dips in space-time have little effect on it. But black holes create space-time curves that bend towards infinity, so even light can't get out the other side. Myth 8. Temperature decreases as we move away from Earth. Fact: space is almost as cold as absolute zero. While space is minus 270 degrees Celsius, absolute zero is minus 273 degrees Celsius. With this logic, as we move away from the Earth, that is, as the atmosphere and air decrease, we expect the air to cool down, right? But no, at a certain altitude, this reverses. Reason? It is no longer directly related to the Earth, but to the existence of the sun. The upper atmosphere absorbs harmful ultraviolet radiation from the sun and becomes very hot due to this energy absorption. This creates a layer called the stratosphere, which can be warmer than the troposphere below, and temperatures here can reach up to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. This is why astronauts wear reflective white spacesuits. Myth 7. The Big Bang was an explosion. Fact: I think this is the most misunderstood concept of space and the universe. When people say that the universe started with a Big Bang, they think that the universe was formed with an explosion. Logically, if this was an explosion, then why didn't we call it Big Explosion? So this is not an explosion. It is the expansion of the universe simultaneously and everywhere, while it is in an incredibly hot and dense state. Also, a funny fact about the name Big Bang is that it remained Big Bang because its name was cool. Myth 6. Nothing can go faster than light. Fact: we know that light can travel in space at a speed of 300 million meters per second without encountering any obstacles. And this is a speed limit in the universe. According to Einstein's theory of special relativity, as an object with mass approaches the speed of light, its energy increases towards infinity, and it becomes theoretically impossible for any object with mass to reach or exceed the speed of light. But there are a few exceptions. The most important of these is the cosmological expansion, that is, the expansion of space exceeding the speed of light after the Big Bang. Apart from this, there are some theoretical concepts such as warp drives and Alcubierre drive, but these do not go faster than light. These two theories propose a method to achieve apparent faster than light travel by warping space-time. Although purely speculative at this point, these ideas are based on mathematical solutions to Einstein's equations. There is also quantum entanglement, which is faster than light. Quantum entanglement, a phenomenon in which particles become associated in such a way that the state of one instantaneously affects the state of the other, regardless of the distance between them, has been observed. This is a fascinating aspect of quantum mechanics that challenges our intuitions about space-time, even though it does not allow faster than light communication or information transfer. Apart from these, it has been theorized that hypothetical particles called wormholes and tachyons always move faster than light. But these have not been observed and are purely theoretical assumptions. Myth 5. The sun is fixed. Fact: it is a common misconception that the sun remains fixed in the Milky Way. When you were at school, your teacher must have said this. While the sun is stationary in the solar system, planets orbit the sun. In reality, the sun orbits the Milky Way galaxy at about 828,000 kilometers per h. It takes 230 million years for the sun to complete one full rotation around the center of the galaxy. Additionally, the planets in the solar system affect the orbit of the sun. The orbit of a star that has a planet in its orbit changes, not just the sun. In fact, with this technique, scientists at NASA can calculate how many planets a distant star has. Myth 4. The moon attracts water and causes gravitational tides. Fact: this is only partially true, because the science behind Earth's ocean tides is far from simple. The moon does impact ocean water, but at any given point, this force is about 1/10,000,000th of Earth's gravity. It is actually the interaction of gravity between the moon, the Earth, and the sun that creates the tidal force, and it is a compression rather than a pull. Each water molecule is pulled by the moon's gravity. However, gravitational acceleration alone is so weak that it cannot be detected. Since ocean water covers approximately 71% of the Earth's surface and is bound together as a single liquid body, all of these small forces combine to create significant pressure. We call this the tidal force. Water molecules near the poles are mostly forced directly downward by the Earth's gravity. Those on the side of the Earth closest to the moon experience the strongest force toward the moon, while those on the opposite side of the Earth feel the weakest acceleration. Together, these interactions create a pressure on seawater that generally directs it away from the poles and towards the equator. Here, the sea is strong enough to fight gravity to form two ledges. The sun's gravity also affects tidal events, accounting for roughly 1/3 of them. When the sun's gravity opposes the moon's gravity, below average moist tides occur. When the sun aligns with the moon, it triggers larger spring tides. Myth 3. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, and therefore the hottest planet. Fact: yes, Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. However, it is not the hottest planet. This title belongs to Venus. The average temperature on Venus is 462 degrees Celsius. The day side of Mercury reaches temperatures of 427 degrees Celsius. In contrast, the cold night side can be as cold as -180 degrees Celsius. The average temperature of the planet is 167 degrees Celsius. The reason why Venus is hotter is the greenhouse effect. Venus's atmosphere is about 90 times thicker than Earth's and consists almost entirely of carbon dioxide. The greenhouse effect on Venus is so great that despite its distance from the sun, Venus's surface temperature is many times hotter than Mercury's. Mercury has a very thin atmosphere consisting of various gases, but very little carbon dioxide. Myth 2. The asteroid belt is very dangerous. Fact: there is no doubt that there are many rocks in the region of our solar system known as the asteroid belt. Located between Mars and Jupiter, this band of fragments contains more than 3,000 minor planets and more than 750,000 individual asteroids, more than 1,000 meters in diameter. Larger asteroids sometimes collide, scattering smaller fragments across the belt and, legend has it, endangering any spacecraft that dares pass through them. This myth was fueled by science fiction. In Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, when Han Solo pilots the Millennium Falcon to an asteroid field, C-3PO warns, "Sir, the odds of successfully navigating an asteroid field are approximately 1 in 3,720. If the Hoth asteroid field were like ours, he couldn't be more wrong." In the 1970s, NASA's Pioneer 10 became the first spacecraft to pass through the asteroid belt. Only a layer of aluminum honeycomb protected the Pioneer, but despite the apparent danger, it survived without any trouble. Not because of careful dodging, but because the distance between the asteroids is too great. Compared to the crowded space imagined in movies, the asteroid belt is actually relatively empty. So movie scenes showing spaceships flying through a dense field of rolling, colliding rocks are unrealistic. The asteroid belt, a region 200 million to 300 million miles from the sun, is an incredibly lonely and desolate space. In fact, if you added together all the asteroids in that belt, they would be only 4% the mass of Earth's moon. That's why NASA even gets excited when it notices one asteroid hitting another. Myth 1. The Earth is closer to the sun in summer. Fact: the Earth's orbit is not as elliptical as people imagine, and over the course of a year, the distance between the Earth and the sun varies by only 5 million kilometers. This is only around 3%. Moreover, in the northern hemisphere, we are closer to the sun in winter than in summer. The main reason for the seasons is the tilt of the Earth's axis. As the year progresses, light strikes the northern and southern hemispheres from proportionally different angles and for different durations each day. Since the days are short during the winter months, light hits the atmosphere at a low angle, passes through gases as it moves towards the surface, and disperses energy as it reaches the ground. During the summer months, days are much longer, and sunlight hits the Earth at a steep angle, taking a more direct path towards the ground and concentrating the energy in a smaller area. We have listed 10 myths about space that everyone thinks are true. I hope you liked the video. You can subscribe to the channel for space, facts, science, and space news videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.